tuned into SEC Sunday Night, part of the Chief Sports Network.
Hit the lights. It's Sunday night. Welcome to SEC Sunday Night Live on the Chief Sports Network and proudly brought to you by Hewitt Domaduros Law, HDLawSC.com, where they will take care of you with your insurance claims, your falls, your dog bites, you name it, personal injury. They've got it covered. Hewitt Domaduros Law, HDLawSC.com. We've got Casey in the quarter zip. We got Craig in the outdoors. And I'm here fresh off of the late night Gamecock show and ready to dive into the SEC. Boys, what's going on? We have an SEC national champion that neither of you happen to predict. There is one host on this show who said Oklahoma would get it done in game 3, and that is me. Boomer Sooner, the SEC reigns supreme on the baseball field yet again. What
right?
Let's kick off. First of all, how are we doing? And then secondly, what does it mean that the SEC continues their run in baseball?
That we're legit and every other conference can go get the beep ready. No.
I don't have
we
a
got
beep.
It.
I don't have a beep.
We don't have a beep?
I don't have a live beep. I can post edit a beep. Can't live beep.
Okay. Well, it just means more and that the SEC is back, baby. And all this crap about the Big Ten and everybody else taking over is trash. Because in baseball, at least, the SEC knows how to win.
That dog seems to know. Yeah, it's one of the old philosopher Ric Flair once said, to be the man, you got to beat the man, right? And in this situation, the man is an entire conference. No one can really argue with the supremacy right now because what is it, 6 in a row?
It is 6 in a row. You know,
5 different.
Funny fact, just if I could diverge just for a second.
We don't do facts, Craig.
All right, good. Well, that's even better. So I was out on the lake last night here in Michigan for some fireworks, and the guy tied up 3 boats over on the pontoon. Swear to God, looked like the man Ric Flair. I just wanted to go up and I wanted to shake his hand and get a selfie. So if you're listening tonight, Rick, woo, fantastic. Anyway, back to the SEC.
Well, you mentioned fireworks, so let's just go down that road for just a moment here, Craig. What are we doing this week? Is everybody got a plan to celebrate the 4th of July this week? Are we doing something fun? We're going to shoot some fireworks. What do we got going on, boys?
I'm cleaning the basement because I'm finally home from work.
Thrilling.
That doesn't mean the emails and the phone calls aren't going to stop, but yeah, I'm finally home. So I'm cleaning the basement, and that's going to be the 4th of July fun.
I'm going to be out on the beach looking to my left and looking at Hilton Head's fireworks, looking to my right, seeing Tybee Island's fireworks. It's going to be a heck of a night on the beach.
That's how we do it. That's how you do it right there,
Can
Casey.
You see Tybee from Hilton Head? That seems like it's a very far away.
From Defusky Island, you can see both.
Anywhere on the coast of South Carolina, you can just about look both directions and see. Once you get to Charleston, you can pretty much look in right or left and see the next one, the ones that are next to you. And you just have to kind of skip from one to the next. But there you go. Yeah, for sure.
That just shows my lack of geography, as they say, across the pond. Didn't realize how close Tybee and Hilton Head were. Tybee, by the way, favorite beach that I have been to in the continental United States. Nice little spot. Been there with the wifey a couple of times.
It's a great spot. You need to get out more.
I think that what you
may also be true.
I think that what you probably misinterpreted is that most of those islands are a pretty far drive apart. They're just not that far apart when you're looking as the crow flies, as they would say down here in South Carolina.
What the hell does that mean? Like, which way is a crow flying? Like, what is that? I don't even know what that means.
It just means that it can fly in a straight line, Craig.
Point A to point B.
Why the hell would the crow fly across the ocean? It's not a seagull.
Okay, as the seagull flies. All right.
What are you doing, Robert?
Yeah, what are you doing, Rob?
I'm spending some time with friends here. I'll be out by the pool, a little barbecuing going on. Should be a nice time. Working really hard. This is the Chief Sports Network, so I will take a moment to say fourquarterfriday.com launching this week. So we're excited about what's going on there with all high school sports coverage across the state of South Carolina. A new Rivals site in the high school space. Excited to get going there and get some content out for South Carolina high school sports fans, not just on individuals as players and recruiting, although that will be a piece. News will be a big part. Team coverage will be a big part. Who's going to be good in your area? Is your alma mater going to be able to produce? And coaching interviews, message boards, high school message boards, and maybe we'll get an appearance from a high school message board. An award-winning message board genius podcast. If only we had a connection. Oh, wait. The producer is here with us tonight. As always, Casey Cregan here to tickle our ears with his award-winning voice that just knocks them dead every time. Should we get into a little genius here, boys?
That was a world-class transition, by the way, Rob. Way to pull us back off the rails, back onto the road on our way to Hilton Head.
Hey, it's why they pay me the big bucks, right? That's what I'm here for. Okay. Let me make sure I'm not putting anything. Yeah, that one's for later. Let's go here first, Casey.
All right. Well, you guys are making me read a lot tonight, which isn't my strong suit.
You guys, nothing. We know who picks the boards. Also, shout out MBG.
Yes, my friend MBG, our friend MBG says Alabama isn't Texas, Oregon, or Ohio State. Excuse me. They have principles. Our friend Darth Crimson responded to Big Earl. Big Earl said, I think it's time for the Sunshine Pumpers to stop slinking this class. It looks like a disaster. This kid could be an instant impact or at less by next year. We do have to start getting some elite talent. Our recruiting class, along with the bad losses, will be used against us by other teams even more than it is. So our friend Darth Crimson says, we're not Texas, Oregon, or Ohio State. We have principles and don't want to throw money to a high school recruit to ride the bench. So Bama ain't paying nobody, fellas, like everybody else.
What does that mean? Does that mean they're not paying high school recruits, or does that mean that there's limited resources to go around? Craig, as a noted Alabama lover, why don't you take this one?
Two numbers for you. Ooh. 34 and 13. No, that isn't Kalen DeBoer's record at Alabama. Alabama is currently ranked 34th in the nation and 13th in the SEC. Now, that would be something I would expect from what Casey is, the team Casey is supporting there, Hail State. But for Alabama, it's an absolute dumpster fire. And these excuses.
It's early.
It's June. It's still June.
It's way early. It's way
early. And you're okay. All right, cool. You're 34th and 13th right now.
It's not even flip season yet.
That is accurate. Here's what I would say. Let's look at all of Alabama's recruiting classes in the past few years.
Tell me why I need to be patient, Rob.
Under Kalen DeBoer. And we see there's not any drop off in recruiting. It is really, really early. And it's honestly super ironic to me when it seems like every time somebody tweets about Alabama not doing well in recruiting, it's almost like they conjure up another recruit that commits to them. So you know what? The haters should probably just keep going because they're just driving people to commit to Kalen DeBoer and head to Tuscaloosa.
So are we saying DeBoer's going to be okay? Everything's going to be fine?
Well, I think we'll see that on the field this year. I think in terms of recruiting, they're going to be perfectly fine. I'm not concerned about that number staying where it is at all. However, I am starting to shift a little bit towards some concern about the line of scrimmage, and we'll see what that produces on the field for Alabama in 2026. But recruiting's not about 2026; it's about 2027 and beyond. I think they'll be just fine in terms of who commits there.
Do you know who's number one right now? According to On3.
Yeah, hit us with it. Yeah,
the Aggies are number one.
They are rolling, balling, shelling out the cash. Mike Elko is on the path to recreate. Let me pull this down because we're not even talking about it. Mike Elko is on the path to recreate the Jimbo Fisher all-time Texas A&M class, and we'll just have to sit back and wait for it to play out to see if that class produces better than the one that Jimbo Fisher had.
Yeah. Well, you've got Touchdown Jesus at number 2.
Yeah, they're hot right now.
They're hot. Coach Instacart down in Coral Gables is number 3.
Yeah, he's not Instacart anymore.
Red River at 4 and 5.
They're paying recruits.
They're paying a couple recruits.
No doubt.
Florida is at 6.
A lot of buzz.
The Fighting Cody Campbell's is at 7. And then the Fighting Emily Taylor, shout out to Casey, the new Saturday Huddle. That was a great little interview that you guys had talking about preseason polls. I thought that was an excellent job this week. Yeah.
Thank you.
They're at number 8. And
they're
then
the best, aren't they?
They're good.
The polls, they're the best.
They're the
I
best.
love them.
Georgia's 16, by the way, just to let you know we're okay. We're okay at 16. It's early though. It's early.
Where's the Cheap Sports Network's biggest rival, the Fighting Dabos?
Fighting Dabbles. Hang on. Wait. I'm still scrolling. Still looking for the.
No. The Fighting Dabos are a friend of the Chief Sports Network.
That's right.
I think you meant to say foe of like Inside the Gamecocks or something.
Yes,
like
that's what I meant to say.
Specifically, the Chief Sports
That's
Network.
very true.
Chief Sports Network supports all schools.
That's correct. My apologies.
Everyone's equal. South Carolina's 41.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
Yep. Hang on.
For an hour actually. You guys should have tuned in. What were you doing?
Well, last week I was at work
scrolling to try to find where the hell Clemson's at.
You're just joking
should be
around.
Top 15 actually, but there was a guy that
you may
came up to
scroll
me and said Rob Williams mentioned my name on the Inside the Gamecock show. I was like, I might know him.
I may have missed and scouted. I went right past the little old Clemson. They're at 15.
Yeah.
And Georgia's at 16. So there you go, Casey. Good job. Ole
Miss
Miss at
just
14.
got put in a locker by Dabo yesterday, so we'll see how it turns out.
Maybe the point of the question. All right. I think we were doing it just means more genius at some point on this show.
Yes.
Let's do another read off.
All right, another novel here. MBG says, why can't Mizzou be Oklahoma? Our friend Harry Crum, we've had him before, says, I'm sure I'll get flamed for even posting this, but doing it anyways. Despite being in a smaller state and splitting it with Okie State, Oklahoma far surpasses us. The English is not good. OU far surpasses us in athletic program. They have a blue blood football program, a historically great basketball program with multiple FFs and conference titles over the last 40 years, an amazing softball program, a great wrestling program, and now they just won a CWS title. Why is Mizzou so far behind OU as an athletic program? What do they have that we don't have? Do they really have more donors? Is the access to Texas talent that important? Is it just an institutional drive to succeed? I really don't get it, but it's frustrating as a Mizzou fan to see them have success in so many sports while we are told that to be good in football, we have to suck at everything else.
Paging Maggie Johnson.
Mizzou.
Johnson. Yeah, I think that there's a couple of things that stick out here. Number one, Oklahoma has some national championship history that I think is probably one of the differentiating factors here that whether we like it or not, tends to stir up this thing called momentum, which in sports, regardless of sport, regardless of in-season, off-season, on-field, off-field, it doesn't matter. Momentum still exists, and it is still an incredibly important factor in not just a team success, but a program success, and sometimes an athletic department success. So the string of national championships and historical success, no matter how far back you go, that Oklahoma has, I think plays into this. And the most outrageous and fun statement to me in this one is access to Texas talent really that important? We need to send them a link to the recruiting rankings for the past 20, 30 years from the state of Texas and where those players land nationally.
Yeah, not many lulls in that database there.
Well, there's enough players that I think, obviously they have to go around to a lot more schools.
Yep.
But the hit rate's pretty good because the volume is up. I mean, your bus rate's the same, but there's so many players to go around.
Well, how close is Norman to Dallas? I mean, it's like it's an easy drive, right? I mean, it just makes sense. Como's a little further. Again, I'm not a geography guy, so I'm not sure exactly how far, but you've got to go over a couple. But you have a historical piece here with Oklahoma that Mizzou is just lacking. So again, I asked the Fighting Maggie Johnsons, is the Big Ten just a better option for Mizzou? Or maybe are they competing with OK State? Is that really who they're competing with in Oklahoma? Maybe Tulsa. I don't know.
Okay, so Norman is 2.5 hours from Dallas.
Yep.
Columbia, Missouri to Dallas is 9.5 hours.
That's too far.
And Norman to Columbia is 7 hours.
Thank you for doing that math.
Did you Google that?
I did actually. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, ChatGPT.
I think that Oklahoma, the access to Texas talent is definitely a big factor, and they are closer to parts of Texas than multiple Texas schools, which has been kind of the bread and butter. But
Texas Tech, like Oklahoma's closer than like Texas Tech to like the real talent.
And you think about where College Station is too; it's kind of like way out there on its own little post. So, that
the dancing brings them in, though. The dancing and the cheers.
That's what it is. Casey, you're not even close to done. How about this one?
Oh my God, who picked this one?
I know he's really testing me. Coming off a little cold too, so I'm a little scratchy in here.
That's what we like, Phoebe. It's that sexy voice. Sing it for us.
He's picking on me, Rob. Alabama is back to its pre-Saban irrelevance. Our friend Voodoo on SEC rant says,
"Great name.
Alabama back to pre-Saban irrelevance. What signs are you seeing? Everyone saw this coming except DeBoer. I respect the confidence, though. Dude restructures his contract for a nice raise, but sacrifices the buyout protection, meaning he loses money long term if things go south. Alabama is basically back to where they were before Saban. Irrelevant. Even a lot of Bama fans seem to realize it. The writing was on the wall when Saban bounced, and their latest recruiting class has people nervous. For those of us with only passive interest, what are some of more recent signs of the slide? Has Walmart Alabama merch inventory noticeably dropped? Anyone seeing fewer Alabama stickers on cars these days? What other signs of the impending collapse have you noticed?"
Well, for one, Courtney Ann had a birthday this week. Happy birthday, Courtney. I didn't see any posts about Alabama from her this week. I saw nothing. So I think she's probably moved on. She's probably she's probably going to Tennessee Orange now. She probably got that country song from a couple years ago, rocking the Tennessee Orange, flipping allegiances for the third
Shout
Saturday.
out Megan Maroney.
There you go. I just bring facts to you guys. You're the one telling me not to worry about Alabama. We have two boards here. This is what we call these are facts. This is data to help prove the point that the sky is falling in Tuscaloosa and that they're in trouble this year.
Great data. Let me tell you, I'm going to draw the.
Listen to this dog in the background. That's how worried they are about them.
Give me a graph of all the data points of message board posts.
Like
Casey, go ahead.
It begs the question, though, like, does it only take one? I mean, they made the playoff last year. Does it only take one first-round exit in the playoff to have people think that Bama fans are just going to jump off the bridge? Like, what are we doing here?
You're only as good as your last game. And contraire, it was not a first-round exit. They came back from a 17-0 deficit.
Oh, right. They beat Oklahoma. Right.
Yeah. In Oklahoma. Yeah, in Oklahoma. They were down 17-0. Not great, Bob.
And who did they lose to? Oh, the national champion that just cut through everybody like a hot butter.
Did they lose or did they get smashed? And then what happened in the SEC? What happened in the SEC championship game?
I'm sure.
You remember what happened
with Georgia, but no.
Yeah, Georgia won, baby. That's right. Listen, I don't get to brag about Georgia beating Alabama often. I probably won't even this season. But guess what? I'm going to take full advantage of Georgia winning the SEC championship. Go Dogs.
It's so last year.
Yeah.
You know what? Listen, you're only as good as your last game, Case. That's
Thanks
why
for the history
I'm out on the golf course right now. It's all good.
You got a sip of that juice there, Case?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm
you ready
good.
for it?
I'm
Okay.
ready.
Here's another one.
I mean, Jiminy Christmas. What are we doing to this guy? This Texas Tech fan thinks Brandon Sorsby should have been allowed to play so that the issue of young men gambling could seriously be looked at, says MBG. So our friend Mr. Clicks is responding to Steels B, who said, "We'll see. A couple weeks ago, you guys were sure Sorsby was going to be your starting QB too." He responds with, "Puppeteered by the embarrassed, ballless NCAA and the gambling companies through media, wanting to preserve their stake in the sport, the mob lynched Sorsby. You aren't the first mob and you won't be the last, but our country is a republic because democracy isn't always just, and this evidences itself often. I would have liked to see this play out in full so the issue of young men gambling could seriously be looked at. But now that you've got your taste of blood, nothing will systematically change, which was the purpose you sheep served. Good work." That was a lot. That was a lot of word salad there.
I'm really confused at what he systematically wants to change. I think let me state the obvious here. It's a win for college football that we didn't have systematic changes based on Brendan Sorsby placing 40+ bets on his own team. Did we want systematic changes to make that a thing? I'm sorely confused by this post.
What a dumpster fire of a week for Sorsby, huh? Can't play.
Yeah, really bad. Who saw the NFL going, yeah, nah. I think
that was so good.
I think we're good.
Yeah, you filed like 3 days before, and again, like that was the question I had in this whole thing. What team wants to bring in an undrafted free agent who's going to be a backup at best to a 3-ring circus for training camp? There's no hope there. CFL said no thanks. Go grab some Tim Hortons. The UFL, I think, said no. I did hear
the NFL minor league. Let's just call that one what it is. That has become the breeding ground.
So, like one of my thoughts, and I heard this on, was it maybe the Best of Sports Center? Have you heard the This Was Sports Center podcast with Rich Eisen, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's fantastic. One of the best out there, maybe second to this show, but definitely on the list
for sure.
But I think they were talking about one of the good spots for Sorsby that it might be. Here's a name for you. Last Chance U. Is East Coast Mississippi College or East? What the hell was it? East Mississippi Community College. EMCC. Grab your pencil. Maybe Brennan gets back there. I missed that show, by the way. It kind of jumped.
Good.
Huh?
It was so good.
Yeah, like I like the EMCC years. I didn't really care for the Jason Brown. The California one was a little bit kind of weird, but like those first couple of years, I really enjoyed
the basketball one. I like the basketball California.
No, the
one in LA with the coach that just unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, coach passed. Was that LA or whatever that was? But yeah, I mean, like I missed that show. Like, and again, like what you see. What would it hurt for EMCC to bring them in? They don't care. They're just mercenaries. It's not like, what are you going to do? You're going to sue us? I mean, as Rocky said in Rocky 5, sue for what? They don't have anything. So I say, no, go ahead.
You ever been to Scuba, Mississippi?
It didn't look like there was much there. I have not.
It's beautiful this time of year.
Is it? A little sweltering?
It's Mississippi.
In Scuba, Mississippi?
Yeah.
All right, I think we have one more before
Oh
we get you out of here. This one's shorter.
I got to rest my voice for a week. MBG is going to be so mad at me. MBG says, only reason Gunnar Stockton isn't on this list. Our friend Illput, or is it Three Putt, maybe? Three Putt? I don't know. He says, to be fair, it doesn't. Oh, I'm sorry. He's responding to the 2026 Manning Passing Academy standouts. And there's names like C.J. Bailey, C.J. Carr, Trinidad Chambliss, just a couple names that you may have or may not have heard of. Arch Manning, John Mateer, Drew Mestamaker, Marcel Reed, Julian Saint, just a couple. And he says, to be fair, it doesn't sound like they focused on his handoff ability, which is top tier.
Run the damn ball, Bobo. And we did it last year. But here's the thing. How the hell is Connor Wegman invited to this thing? Like, he's been a journeyman at best. Why the hell is he at the Manning Passing Academy? He's like 35 years old. He's about as old as Coop Manning.
One of the things is he's a powerful quarterback, and he does have the pedigree. My question would be, I don't know the answer to your question, Craig, but could it be that they're going to fill a certain amount of slots? I know that, for example, there are quarterbacks who get invited that can't go. Mm-hmm. Lenora Sellers being one of them, just for the sake of this argument, that had a scheduling conflict. So, we don't know where on the invite list was Connor Wegman and how many quarterbacks said no before he got the invite.
I also had to Google who the hell Jerry Kaminsky was. Apparently that's North Dakota, not North Texas, because I was like, what the hell's a guy from North Texas in there when his coach left? But apparently it's North Dakota.
Drew Mestemaker.
There is. That's Drew Mestemaker. But he's at Oklahoma State now. He went with him.
Yeah, I didn't see the vision on there either. Chris Vazina from Clemson. I didn't see the vision. That's what they call him.
I think
Rob's boy Camario.
Camario's in there.
Camario Taylor is there.
They didn't have 12 to 15 no's to get.
I freaking love Camario Taylor.
Vision.
They got C.J. Bailey from North Carolina State University. By the way, happy birthday to Chuck Amato. Turned 80 years old the other day. But
Chuck the chest?
Chuck the chest. But here's the thing. They didn't have the Oakleys. They took a picture of him, and he didn't have the red Oakleys. It's like
I wouldn't recognize him.
I would have no clue who he was. No clue.
Look at that.
Did you see Johnny Mateer, by the way? Homeboy was ripped. He was ripped. He wasn't hurt. Wasn't out. We're gonna have to ask our boy Drew Crabtree about him.
All right, Casey, we got you out of here early. 3 minutes to spare. Any last words of wisdom before I hit the button on you?
Yeah, just stick around for Drew Crabtree. Fantastic guest coming up, and have a great show, fellas. Appreciate y'all.
I'll send you a cough drop.
Thanks, Casey. All right, when we come back, we will have Drew Crabtree here with us to throw in a little Big Ten flavor. We've got a basketball move from a school that he may not want to talk about that we're gonna look at in terms of the entirety of the league. And then, Craig, we also need to look at the NBA draft. 11 SEC players drafted. And it's, of course, list season. And we'll see if Drew can help us make some sense of some of these crazy college football lists. We'll be right back on SEC Sunday Night on the Chief Sports Network.
At TriFit Physical Therapy and Performance, we believe true health and peak performance start with personalized care. Whether you're an athlete recovering from injury or just chasing your next personal best, we're here to guide your journey. With expert coaching, hands-on therapy, and transparent cash-based pricing, you get the care you need without the insurance red tape. One client drove 100 miles just to see us and said it was worth every mile. Contact us at trifitperformance.com or 803-353-5619. TriFit Physical Therapy and Performance, where recovery meets results.
When playing sports, you want a coach that will fight for you. At Hewitt Diamaduros Law Firm, we've got your back. Whether it's personal injury, insurance disputes, negligence, or wrongful death, our team delivers exceptional legal services that makes meaningful difference in the lives of the individuals and families we work for. Visit hdlawse.com. hdlawse.com. Hewitt Diamaduros, we're on your team.
This is SEC Sunday Night, part of the Chief Sports Network.
Welcome back to SEC Sunday Night Live on the Chief Sports Network. I'm Rob Williams. He's Craig McMichael, and we are joined now by our good friend, Drew Crabtree, who is here with us. And Craig is holding up his Michigan Cup because Drew covers the Ohio State University and the Big Ten, and that's what we need to kind of balance us out sometimes, Drew. Welcome in. What's going on, my friend?
Love being back on here. Thanks so much.
You cover Ohio State?
I do every now and then. I try to sprinkle it in there.
I was just in Ann Arbor this morning. I was like, oh my God, I have so much to talk to Drew about because you're covering Michigan. You'll appreciate this, though. We were driving by the big house, and my wife goes, wait, is that the big house? And I go, yeah. She goes, oh, I've never been there. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
How about that right there down the road?
Just down the road. We had a little breakfast.
Game.
The hands
get into a game, Craig. I hear the one around Thanksgiving is pretty good.
It's going to be in Columbus this year.
Yeah, I'd rather go to Columbus. I've been to Columbus, by the way. What are your thoughts on Buckeye Donuts? I think we've talked about this, but I want to get your opinion on this.
Love them. They're fantastic.
The coffee needs help, though. The coffee's a little weak.
Yeah, but I will say when I've since moved from Toledo down to my hometown in Ada, Ohio. It's a town of literally 5,000 people. The Wilson's Football Factory is here, and it is the home of Lee Trestle. But I will miss Holy Toledo up in Toledo. Those donuts were fantastic.
Those were fantastic.
All right, Drew, since we've got you on, I want to start off with a question about the best teams in the SEC. Give us your take on how you feel like the matchup between Georgia and Texas in the SEC championship is going to go this year.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding.
I wholly predict.
Craig. I know you have a list to start off.
He's going to say something.
I wholly predict that Craig is going to be a mess that entire week, and until the clock hits 00. Is he going to be rooting for Georgia, or is he going to be rooting for his boy?
That's exactly right. That's a great point.
It's a win-win, baby. It's a win-win. No matter what, you always win. Uncle Tony will get his article, and everybody will get their flowers, whether it's Gunner or Arch. It'll be a beautiful thing. Is Alabama dead?
Let's go through another season. The recruiting is dead in a doornail. It looks like it is pre-Signetti Indiana right now. It's pretty ugly, but it's still last in the SEC now.
13th. Close enough.
13th. Okay. Well, good buddy of mine who moonlighted with Last Word for about 2 seconds, Troy Brock. He's a big old Bama guy, and he hates Kalen DeBoer. He's ready for he thinks that Curt Signetti is going to be the coach next year, and I'm like, we'll see.
So he doesn't think that Kalen just needs patience and that time will tell and that everything will be okay, even though they got their ass handed to them in 2 of their last 3 games. But it's okay. Just, hey, listen, patience. And I'm the granola one here. But patience. I feel
like I'm getting teamed up on here, but you know what? Some of us,
you know how I feel when Marler jumps on.
Some of us are not motivated by the mob of social media to freak out at every little drop of the hat. Hey, Drew, let's talk about the Big Ten here for just a minute, because I obviously that's where you're coming from. When you look at Indiana's rise last year, and kind of how this playoff is moving forward, what do you expect out of the Big Ten this year, but also going forward when we inevitably go to a 2014 playoff, because I think that's where we're headed? How do you see that impacting the overall college football landscape with the Power 2 of the Big Ten and the SEC kind of leading the way?
I am on record as saying if we're going to expand it to 24, make it a true 24 playoff. Don't make it a Big Ten SEC invitational and sprinkle in a Big 12 ACC and then a pity group of 6. Make it a true tournament. Champions for everything, at large for the rest. And if that ends up with only 3 Big Ten teams, then that's 3 Big Ten teams. But Big Ten only had a few last year, and Indiana ran through it. So that's 100% not what's going to happen. I think the Big Ten and SEC are going to end up trying to strong arm themselves and say, we need 10 each, and then you guys get the other 4. It's going to be it's going to be a mess. Thankfully, I don't think that we're going to run into like a lockout situation like we're going to have with Major League Baseball next year, but expanding to 24 is definitely going to happen. It's just how it's going to look that's going to honestly piss everybody off.
I feel like they just every time they talk 24, it's like, what is the shittiest version that we can have of an expanded playoff? And that's what they come up with. Like, if you're going to go 24, which is terrible, whether it's your pure 24 or we just do 24 at large teams, which I'm actually more in favor of, but there'd be other teams that probably wouldn't. Probably like all the dogs that are barking in the background for me today. But like, how do we?
Right on cue. That was beautiful.
That was so
Fantastic.
good. That
Paid
dog's pissed.
actors.
This dog is pissed. It's fantastic. That's why we go live, folks. Why we go outside. I'm like, it's gonna be nice out. But no, like I don't understand why we're going to a 24. I don't think anybody wants it. The calendar's still gonna be screwed up. So like, it's just awful.
It would surprise me. I know that the ESPN doesn't want it because then if you have a 24 team, you're going to have to open it up to other TV networks, and they don't want to share in the pie. But the Big Ten has about as much weight as it's ever had since World War II, with the 2-ish titles in a row. But yeah, 24 teams is gonna water this bad boy down. I mean, the cream will always rise at the top, as Macho Man Randy Savage says. But how they pick those teams is going to be a dumpster fire.
No.
Well, right now we're not at 24 yet, Drew. And you look at the Big Ten. You talked about last year, only a handful of teams getting in there, but then Indiana runs it. I think it's safe to say that we would expect Ohio State and Indiana to be the front runners again this year, but then you're gonna from the rest of that, like I want to call it second tier, but maybe I shouldn't. But from an Oregon, a Michigan, a USC, Penn State, who else do you kind of see making that playoff push across the Big Ten? We'll leave Ohio State and Indiana kind of off to the side right now because I feel like if we can safely say there are teams that are expected to be in, it would be those two.
Ohio State they've got the toughest schedule in honestly in my lifetime. And if they go 9-3 this year, the lunatic fringe is going to burn the horseshoe down, but it'd probably still be good enough. But yeah, outside of those two, Oregon, I'm hitching my wagon to in terms of regular season. They can go 10-2 very, very easily. They play Ohio State, they play Indiana, but Oregon is stupid talented, as they are every year. They got Dante Moore at quarterback. He just might be the number 1 overall pick if it's not Arch Manning. They have that sophomore class is stupid. Like, it is ridiculous. Jordan Davison, De'Aaron Hill, Dak Moore, Jeremiah McClellan on offense, and then on defense you got Brandon Finney. They just added Coy Parrish through the portal. Oregon, I think, is a lock right now. But outside of those three, then it gets funky. I think USC has the talent to do it. Lincoln Riley. Michigan, who knows? They don't have a quarterback, but they have a really freaking good coach. I hated that hire. And I think we would probably expand on that a little bit. But who knows what they do? Their defense is going to be good. Their run game is going to be good. What happens with Bryce Underwood? Iowa, always a weird in-between. Who knows? Washington, our buddy Nick at Last Word covers Washington incredibly well. I like Damon Williams. Is that whole offseason, will he transfer, will he not transfer? Is he going to sue the school kind of thing? Is that going to come back to haunt him? But outside of those three, it gets really weird.
I would love to see an early playoff game like at Washington. That's one of the coolest stadiums, like one of the coolest environments. I think that's definitely a dark horse. I definitely do like Iowa sneaking in. Wouldn't it be great for Ferentz just to sneak in there and like go out on top and like go there? To me, I think it'd be a thing of beauty. So
can I read this to you?
You've been coaching for 50 years. Yeah, go ahead.
I mentioned Penn State. You did not, but Craig, are you familiar with this schedule?
Penn State schedule?
Yeah,
absolutely not. I have no clue who they're playing this year.
Okay. I'm going to go through it right. I'm going to go through it right now, and then Craig, we're going to let Drew kind of wax eloquent on what he expects out of Matt Campbell, bringing basically his entire roster from Iowa State to compete in the Big Ten. But just listen, it's incredible. I've never seen anything like it. They start with Marshall, and then they play Temple, then Buffalo, then Wisconsin, who we know is down, Northwestern, USC we just talked about, and Michigan in back-to-back weeks there in October. Then Purdue, Washington, Minnesota, Rutgers, and finish with Maryland.
Where's the Washington game?
It's at Washington.
Oh, there's 3 losses.
But is this can this be 9-3 team in Matt Campbell's first year. I mean, look, the schedule is the bottom half of the Big Ten. If he can just get them to the middle, then you're going to be in that position. Not to mention that you have Marshall, Temple, and Buffalo as your out of conference.
Can I just say this before Drew waxes poetic?
Yeah.
It's freaking Iowa State players in the Big Ten. I know the water is tasty in Ames, Iowa, but this ain't intramurals, brother. This is the Big Ten. I've got at least 3 losses. My boy Drew's going to wax poetic here in a minute and tell us where number 4 is.
I do think they're going to lose to Michigan. I think that Michigan will just out physical them. Even if I don't think Michigan is a better team, I think they'll just out physical them. And Bryce Underwood will. Oh, my phone died. I was going to look at. This is the first year, and I think 25 years that Penn State has not played Ohio State in any sense. And the fact that they miss Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon is incredible, honestly. This schedule rivals that of Notre Dame's at this point. And Notre Dame can pick their own schedule. They were given a gift in Matt Campbell's first year. I like Matt Campbell, Toledo guy, from Ohio, from Toledo. Iowa State trying to pick up is it's so hard to win there because what kind of recruiting base is over there? You're always battling Iowa for these 3-star players, and they're not going to pick the Cyclones over the Hawkeyes. He did all right over there, but like Craig said, it's going to be Iowa State over in the Big Ten. It might be rough for them. Now they do have an easy schedule, but the Michigan. USC game, Washington. I think Minnesota could sneak up on them. I like Drake Lindsey at quarterback. They have a few toss-up games, which is honestly an indictment because of how great they were 2 years ago. Last year they should have been great. It was a nuclear disaster. 2 years ago they were legitimately a play away from the national title game against Ohio State in that Notre Dame semifinal, which was a classic. But I don't expect Penn State to actually compete for either the Big Ten or the college football playoff. But that's just because I don't know if they've got the juice at this point.
And you have to wonder too, like when Franklin left, the recruiting class was totally gone. And
I think they went to National Signing Day with. They went into National Signing Day, I think, with one player, and it was a quarterback. And they had nailed the portal, which they did with Iowa State players. But James Franklin, I don't blame him, but he did them dirty with how many guys flipped over to Virginia Tech.
I wonder if Franklin makes the playoff next year. Wouldn't that be interesting at Tech?
That would be incredibly interesting. Honestly, if they make the playoff, put them up against Penn State just for fun.
Oh, that would be so good. And play at Lane Stadium. Mm-hmm. Could they play Sandstorm, Rob?
I don't think so. No. We're not doing that.
It's the wrong song. I know. I know. I was trying to poke at Rob a little bit.
All right. I have a quarterback list here. Ooh. Because it's list season. I thought we would do a little listicle.
Listicle.
Mm-hmm. Are we good with that? I want to get your thoughts. Our good buddy Joel Klatt has just put out his top 10 quarterbacks going into 2026. I'm going to read them to you in reverse order from 10 to 1. I'm going to let you guys comment, and if you need me to repeat anything or go back, we will do so. At number 10, he has Sam Levitt at LSU. At number 9, Josh Hoover at Indiana. At number 8, the winner of the portal, in my opinion, Darian Mensah at Miami. Number 7, Jaden Maiava at USC. 6, Johnny Mateer at Oklahoma. 5, CJ Carr at Notre Dame. 4, Trinidad Chambliss at Ole Miss. 3, Julian Sayin at The Ohio State University. At 2, Craig's best friend Arch Manning at Texas. And at 1, the aforementioned Dante Moore at Oregon. Thoughts, boys, about how that lines up in the order there?
What the hell does Gunnar Stockton have to do besides trade in his 1995 Ford F-150 to get on a list? The dude is a freaking baller, and you've got Sam Levitt on this list. Maeva at USC. What are we doing? I'm sorry, Joel Klatt. I know you're retired and you're going to coach your kids' football team. Maybe you should stick to that because that list is trash.
I don't mind it because it has a lot of Big Ten guys, and Joe Platt is has turned into a Big Ten shill, which is fun. Dante Moore at 1, no complaints.
No
Arch
complaints.
Manning at 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Julian Sayin.
What is that okay about? What is that okay about? That sounds like you're skeptical.
We shall see in week 2 whether or not he can hold up against a good defense.
Let's not talk about it.
Julian Sayin at 3 is fun. I do want to see. This offseason, they said they have been working on him and his confidence in taking those free yards to run. He's a much better passer than Will Howard was. But the reason why Will Howard was successful at Ohio State in the national title run is he put his body on the line. He's obviously significantly larger than Julian Sayin was, but he took the free yardage. I don't want Julian Sayin taking the push because 1, good Lord, he sucked at it last year. But 2, I would rather him if he's rolling out and the entire defense is chasing 4 all the way down the field, just scamper on by for that first down. Hoover, I think, might be too low. I think him coming into this season he might blow up kind of Mendoza way. I think he might be a little bit further in terms of his development than Mendoza, because at Cal, Mendoza was fun. He wasn't quite what he was in that Heisman Trophy season. Maeva, yeah, I'll say Maeva's a little bit high too.
But Hoover, the same guy that had his former coach's quote, 42 turnovers in 31 starts. Do we just think he's just not going to turn the ball over anymore? Is it like all of a sudden Kurt's going to say Google?
Is it system?
Is he going to be like Google? Don't throw to the other team. Like only throw to the cream or the crimson color. Is it crimson at Indiana? Is it red?
Yep. Yeah, they're crimson and cream, just like
crimson and cream, right? Crimson and clover, crimson and cream, whatever that may be. But like the interceptions scare me there. Maeva, former one-time dog commit. Funny story. I wrote an article about him committing to Georgia.
I remember
it published, and then he flipped to USC. It's like, oh, okay, way to go. Glad I wasted my time on that one. But again, where's the gunner love? He's not. I know the wide receiver room is going to be interesting, but you can't tell me he's not a top 10 quarterback in this country.
Is he a truck or is he a trailer?
I think he's a truck. I believe he's a truck. I do believe that. And I think that's what we'll see this year. I think you'll see that. He likes to hand the ball off, but he's a guy that I think inspires his team. And you look at all the little intangibles and things like that. He's a baller, and he'll be right there. The other one I put on the list, who's the kid from Oklahoma State who was at North Texas?
Drew Crabtree.
Yep. Where's he at on the list?
I'm very interested to watch how the North Texas Cowboys do this year, because between him leading all of football in passing yards and their running back who led all of football in rushing touchdowns and led their conference in rushing yards. But I'm very interested to see what happens there, because obviously Oklahoma State without Gundy is going to be an interesting watch. I like watching these group of 6 coaches jumping to Power 4 and then how they do.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's a better jump than going from Ames to Happy Valley.
Well, and here's what I was going to say, and I want to kind of transition us here as Craig and I are gonna close out here in just a minute with a little bit of basketball talk. But Michigan head coach Dusty May just took the job with the Dallas Mavericks this week. We saw a couple of years ago the MLB did the unprecedented and hired Tony Vitello out of the college baseball ranks. The trend in the NBA has not been to hire college coaches recently. You had another Michigan coach in Beeline go to the Cavs a few years ago, which was the last, I think, college coach to be hired into the NBA. This hiring of Dusty May, I understand completely where Dusty May is coming from to take the job, because it's honestly, I'm going to say this, and it sounds crazy at times, but it's less work. It's less difficult. There's less headache.
Yep.
He was on the record, as soon as he won the national championship, saying that I can't go and celebrate. We got 2 hours before the portal opens. I want to go with my wife or my assistant coaches, but I can't do that because we've got to get back to work. We've got to get in the portal as soon as it opens at midnight. So I'm just curious on both of your thoughts from a national standpoint. Could there be a trend upcoming where we see, not just in college football, but for the purposes of this show, we kind of go there a good bit. Are we going to start seeing more coaches, head coaches, taking opportunities to make jumps to the professional ranks? We've asked this question in years past. We're starting to see the pressure continue to creep up to work 365 days a year, 20-hour days for college coaches. I talked to a contact at a prominent SEC program who said that the director of player personnel or GM or whatever it's called at that particular school I was talking to had not slept in about 2 weeks because of the constant flow of summer recruiting. Is that going to continue? Do you think it's going to start pushing more coaches to the NFL?
I think Nate Oates is already coaching professional players, isn't he? Half his roster was G League guys.
Football question. I asked a football question.
Oh, I know, but I listen to like half the things you say. So I think Nate Oates could be interesting. I think from a college, if you're going to look at an SEC perspective, how long is it before Lane Kiffin goes to the NFL? To me, that is the next natural progression of back to the NFL. Well, he's grown. He's a different man than he was when he was with the LA Raiders or
that's true.
Raiders. He's a different man. He's grown up. He's matured. He took June off of Twitter. He's done a great job in Baton Rouge of bringing that community together. I think it's only natural that Lane would want to bring that positivity and that culture that he likes to build and just go to the NFL franchise.
I think Lane Kiffin, if Lane Kiffin is given another opportunity, I think it'd probably end up closer to the Urban Meyer experience because there are some guys. I don't want Lane Kiffin.
He'd be great with Joe. Him and Brett. Come on. It'd be him and Charlie Jr. It'd be a thing of beauty. Your last word NFL number would be like this because it'd be all hail the Lane train.
I need anything to make our numbers go like that. I think that it does take us. It takes a special kind of coach to be able to make that jump into the NFL, and I think it'll probably be few and far between. Every year, whether or not it's the lunatic fringe talking about it or not, people talk about Ryan Day making that jump since he was a quarterbacks coach with the Eagles back in the day with Chip Kelly, but the NFL, like you just saw Chip Kelly completely flame out as the offensive coordinator with the Raiders. Obviously, the Raiders are awful. Ashton Jeanty is still a dog, but they were terrible last year. Now he's the offensive coordinator at Northwestern. Life comes at you fast. And I don't know what kind of coach could make that jump. I have to be a coach that doesn't like the recruiting aspect, doesn't like the NIL and the transfer portal aspect. It makes me think that if he doesn't see the Alabama job ever opening up, that sounds like Dabo to me.
Ooh, that's an interesting pick. I think that the hottest name in college football right now is obviously Cignetti, but the one that's most connected to the NFL has been Marcus Freeman. We saw how that played out last year, but I would be interested to see, not that I think he doesn't like the recruiting. They're very successful in that world, but at some point, I think it does become a little much in terms of a time and consuming standpoint. So
what about Cristobal? Is Cristobal an interest? You think about what he does, like you could see that in and I think of the Dan Campbell-esque of just raunchous, whatever Dan Campbell is, I'm going to bite your kneecap. I could see Cristobal playing the same way, where that would be we're going to come in, we're going to kick your ass and all that stuff.
I think the thing with Cristobal is just that he has now leveled up in terms of where they've been able to get to in the college football playoff. So they have so much momentum right now, and they've become the primary suitor of the college football transfer portal quarterback. They've kind of established their role as we're going to go get a portal quarterback every year. There's not even much high school quarterback recruiting going on at that spot. So, and I think that, again, in my opinion, they got the best. They got the best one, and he wasn't even in the portal. They made him in the portal, and they got him. So if you're doing that from a recruiting standpoint, does it interest you to go? He's at his alma mater, still chasing that national championship, but positioned to continue to be in the college football playoff, especially in the ACC. So it's interesting, Craig. I don't think it's a bad fit, but I think the question becomes, would he do it? And that's the question for all of these guys. We saw it with Marcus Freeman last year. Okay, Drew, make sure you tell everybody where they can get you, and what are you expecting? Go ahead here with your Ohio State take. What do you expect out of the Buckeyes this year? I know it's a tough schedule, but what is success for them in 2026?
Well, you can follow me on the old Twitter machine at Drew Crabtree 12. I also have an Ohio State specific Twitter at LastWordOSU. I cover the Buckeyes for Last Word on College Football. I get to go down credentialed media. It's a whole lot of fun. I tell you what, the college football playoff game against Tennessee up there in that press box, finally getting a night game, it was absolutely electric. Success for the Buckeyes this year, as always, is beat Michigan, win the Big Ten, and win a natty. That's how it is. Under the Ryan in the Ryan Day's tenure, they haven't won the Big Ten since 2020. They did beat Michigan last year, but finally you beat a bad Michigan team, and you won the natty in 24, and then got honestly embarrassed by Miami because they couldn't figure out that 2 first-round edges need to be blocked every now and then. So the key to success for me, and I did write about this for Last Word on college football. Offensive line needs to be better. They're returning 4 of their starting offensive linemen, and that 5th one actually transferred down to Kentucky, addition by subtraction. That offensive line is going to have to be the key because this year's schedule is significantly harder. When you're going up against Texas, you're going to need to be able to hold on against Colin Simmons. When you're facing against Oregon, Mateo Uiagalelei, and that entire, honestly, defense, Bear, Alexander on the interior. Then you got Indiana. They're still great. Obviously, you'll still have Michigan. And then once you get in, ideally, once you get into the college football playoff, you're not going to be playing Ball State and Kent State and Purdue and so on. That offensive line is going to need to level up. Defensively, it's going to be all about how they reload. They had to replace 8 starters going into 2025, and they did all right. That was a really good defense. They're going to have to replace just as many starters this year. I like how they attacked the transfer portal. I'm going to miss Caleb Downs. I can tell you that right now. But if those incoming transfers, the Terry Moore and the Earl Little, those guys back there in the secondary, and then all those guys up front between John Walker, Quay Russaw, and one more whose name escapes me from Alabama. It's going to be interesting to see how they actually rotate guys in, because that's 100% that they need to do. They need to rotate those guys in. But it's going to be honestly in the trenches one way or another for both sides.
I've got Ohio State at 11-1 this year, Drew. Just to let you know.
Losing that week 2 battle again in Austin.
Yeah, because unlike the rest of the Big Ten, Ohio State ain't scared to play a P4 team. They know how to Google and say, you know what, we're going to play somebody. I'm looking at you.
We got Indiana. Alabama the next 2 years, and we got Georgia the following couple of years.
Yeah, well, we'll see if that Georgia one goes.
We'll see if that makes it.
Yeah, Georgia's too afraid.
That'll be in Athens. That'll be in Atlanta.
I hate when they play in Atlanta.
The greatest comment of the show tonight, and the most subtle shot, I just loved it. I loved it. You're not going to, when you make it to the college football playoff, you're not going to be playing Ball State, Kent State, and Purdue. Way to group those three together, Drew. Appreciate. I'm sure the Boilermakers would love the fact that you're kicking them to the MAC.
They know their role. They know where they are.
That's it. Well, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate you being here, as always. It's the flavor that we need, because whether we like it or not, we will see plenty of Big Ten talent when the college football playoff gets here at the end of the year.
Can't wait. I just want to fast forward through July. I'm ready for the season to get started.
Yep.
I can't wait for week 2.
You and we're right there with you. It's almost football season, and everybody is pretty much foaming at the mouth down here in SEC country. So we will be back next week, as we always are. This is SEC Sunday Night, live on the Chief Sports Network, proudly presented by Hewitt Diamonduras Law. I'm Rob Williams. He's Craig McMichael. Thanks to Casey Cregan, and shout out to our boy Drew Crabtree for being on here tonight as well. We will see you